Alright, so in the last module we introduced ourselves to array, how to get an array, and I said we are going to talk about the method in array. But before we actually go to the method in array, I quickly want to introduce to us how we can manipulate the value of an array, delete them, and some other stuff. Let's just go ahead and dive right in. So I'm just going to clear this off the screen and print only the array on the document, and if I refresh, so we have John, we have Paul, James, and John. Okay, so right here what I want to do is that I want to manipulate the value of James to be Peter. So to change the value of James to Peter, we just say array on the index. So the index James is sitting down is 2, is 1 as we learned in the last tutorial. Sorry, 0 1 2 is 1, then equals to like that. So I can just say Peter. So if I refresh this now, you see, so we have Paul, Peter, and John, which means that I've been able to manipulate the value of James like that. So I believe if I do array on index of 3 equal to there, let's put like that. So this is the mechanism. So we have Paul, James, and John. So this is 0 1 2, so and I'm adding 3 now equals to do. Let's refresh this so you can see I'm able to add an do to the array to include do into the array. And let's say I'm tired of Paul, I want to delete Paul. I can do it in a two-way by saying, okay, delete array on the index of Paul is 0. So let me just put 0 right here quick, and if I refresh this, I've actually been able to delete Paul out of the array. And those are the things that you can do with array. Those are there are a couple of stuff that you can embed with the array. You can delete an array, then you can decide to add to it on a particular index. So if I go like, okay, on index of 4, so add give birth to the array, is going to just go ahead and add give birth to the array. So that's what I want to show you real quick. Let's just go ahead and dive in and move into the array method. So the array method that I prefer to show you real quick is I'm going to show you the pop. So array dot pop, I'll show you. So array dot, I just want to write it real quick, push, because there are lots of method in array that we are not going to talk about. I'm just going to talk about the very important one. Array dot shift, array dot on shift, array dot map, array dot flitter. Good. So we are going to talk about, so okay, array dot index of different type. So these are, let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Maybe along the way, if I should see anyone I should actually introduce to you during the course of this, then we just go ahead and include that. So let's just go ahead and dive this thing right in. So the first one we want to do is that we are going to be creating function for each method. Then we are going to be calling each method through an event, so which is an on click. I'm just going to clear this off, we don't need this anymore. So we have the output right there. So let's just create a button. So this is an empty button, and I'm just going to call it pop array like this. So when it is being clicked on click, we are going to have the function of pop array, then like there. So pop array. So this guy, we don't need it anymore. Okay, the only thing, let me just bring this back because I need the array. So this is the array. I'm just going to push the array outside of the code. So I'm just going to create a function, and I'm call it pop array, array, because the name of our function must be the same we declare it with how we call it right here. So we call it with pop array, so just add ay to it, so pop array. Then here we are having pop array. This is good. So what I want to do is just the array dot pop. So what array dot pop actually does is that it just goes ahead and deletes it just goes ahead and deletes and pop up the array from the end. So it begins to delete them from the end until it is able to finish deleting them. So let's just go ahead and include Gabriel Michael. Okay, that's actually good now. So when we click this button, we want to pop it, then we actually also want to put this on our output. So we can say let's output equals to document your gets elements by id. So the id of the elements we are getting is output. Then we can say output dot inner HTML equals to the array now. Okay, let's just then I need to do the same thing outside, so that right before the button is clicked, we have the array being displayed on our page too. So let's refresh this. So it's not going to get this because I'm doing this outside of a function, which is not really something bad. So I just feel like, how will I solve this? Okay, let's just go ahead and eradicate this for a sec. So I'm going to maybe include this on unload, not click, unload. So unload, then I'm going to call the array, or I can say show array. So this is going to be a function that will continue to show the array to the screen. So I'm just going to wrap it in a function, call it show array real quick. So all we have to do is just grab on this guy that is here, then put it there, so that each time the page is load, we are able to get to know what is inside the array before we start manipulating them. So okay, good. So we have it now. If I click on pop array, you can see Michael is gone, Gabriel is gone, John is gone, James is gone, and Paul is gone too. And that is because I'm able to pop up this value array on a click. So let me just create another button real quick. So I don't know what is next. Let's go check what we are push now. So push actually do something by adding to the value of an array at the end. So push array, then we can say okay, push to array. So if I refresh this real quick, I have another button that says push to array. Then let's just go ahead and declare the function of push array. So we can come right there to say okay, the function of push array. Then we can just go ahead and say array dot push. So what is the new value that we want to have? You can just say push in who is not in the array that we have specified here. We can just say okay, push in Philip. Then we just want to do the same thing, like say the output, then give us the new output or the new array that we have. So if I refresh this guy, so if I continue to click on push to array, you can see Philip continue to join at the end, and I can do that for eternity right more. So if I click pop, I'll begin to delete Philip. So Philip is deleted. If I click again, I'm able to pop it, delete it, then like there. So let's just go ahead and check up the other one. This is push, this is shift. So shift actually work like a reverse of push, and let me just do that one real quick. So I'm going to create a function of shift array. So I can just say array dot shift like there. Then let's the output output equals to document or get the element by their output. Then I can say output dot inner HTML equals to the array. So this is just nice for me to know. Okay, let's go ahead and create the button for it. Alright, shift array, then shift. We're going to ask you to shift the array for us. So let's just refresh this real quick. So when I click on shift array actually work like pop, but instead of it deleting it from the end, it start deleting it from the what's it called, from the end, from the from the start, from the front you said. So pop is going to be deleting array from the end, and shift is going to be deleting array right from here. If I click shift, it deleted this, not this. It's because the array is Philip. That is why it's looking as if it's deleting it from here. So if I refresh this, I can do it again. Click, so you see Paul is gone, James is gone, John is gone, Gabriel is gone, then Michael is gone. So that is how the shift work. Let's go ahead and look at the on shifts in a quick. So to make this faster, I'm just going to copy this function, then paste it right here, and then I will just add on shift here, and I will just add on shift here like that. So on shift usually takes a parameter for a second. I'm just going to copy this, paste this up, then I'm just going to say on shifts like there, on shift array like this. So let's just go ahead and refresh this. We have it, and I click on shifts. If I press F12 to see what is going on, so let's see, do I have any bug? No error. So I have no error in the code. I just want to make sure that when I click this on shifts, I'm doing it properly. So on shift array, that's good. Let's go here. We have on shift array. So we haven't specified the array that we actually want to on shift into the array. Then let's just go ahead and add something like Thomas like that. So let's refresh this guy. So if I continue to click on shifting Thomas, which is going to concatenate or add himself to the array at the what's it called, at the beginning of the array, instead of the push that is adding Philip at the end of the array. So if I click push Philip at the end of the array, you can click on shift. I'm having Thomas at the beginning, being new Thomas being concatenate at the beginning of their array. So that is just the mechanism between them. That is always how it actually works. So this is very important for you to know. This is so vitally important for you to understand. So what's next? We've talked about this guy. Let's come up filter and index of. So real quick for a sec, let's just go ahead and create a function for that. So the next one we want is to map through the array. So map actually create a mechanism for looping through the array. We can just say array.map, then it's also return a particular function right here that we are going to write. You can just say function, then we grab all the data. So we can say new array, which is the new data that we are going to have, or let's just say array value underscore value. So I used to use data, but doesn't really actually mean what I use. So we can just do console.log the array underscore value, or we can just say we want to alert it. So sorry, that's my bad. You can just say we want to alert it right there. So what it does is that by default it's go ahead and loop through the array for us. Then before I come to, let's alert before I come to the log. So we need to call this on a phone, on a click, on an event. So we just do map array. So allow me to just go ahead and create a button. Then we can do on click, when it's big click, map array. So we can just say okay, map array. So just map the array. That's really looks sweet and nice. So if I click map array, you can see I have a map on the first one. Say Paul is there. So if I click again, say James. If I click again, say John. So what is it is able to loop through the whole sequence of array and bring out the value one by one. And to prove this, we can just on comment this console.log array value. If I refresh this and I press it, I'm going to press F12. So if I click map array from here, it's alerting what's up to me. And once done with the alert, if I go to my console, you can see I have this loop: Paul, James, John, Gabriel and Michael being console.log in the array, and that is just the value over the usefulness of map. Helps you to map through the array, go through them one by one to print out what is there for you. And you can just decide to wrap up a mechanism like if the array underscore value is equal, sorry, I need to put that within a parenthesis. Don't worry, just get to understand this. So if the array underscore value is actually like there, so I want to set a query if this is equal to, so I use 3 equal to so that to be able to check their data type, and if they are the same value and they are of the same data type. If it equals to per, so just console.log a message and say okay, I can find Paul in the array. So look at that now, just to explain what it's actually doing to you. So we say, okay, help us to loop through this array, map through them. If you find Paul, go ahead and tell us you can find Paul within the array. So I'm just going to refresh this. I'm going to put it on F12 mode, which is on the console mode, and I'll click map array. So you see the message right, I say okay, I can find Paul in the array. So that is what I want to show you real quick, in a real sec. All right, so getting on these, we actually do with the map. Flitter actually does the same thing, epochs to flitter through the array, but it's also capable of flittering one array to another. Like what I mean is appending one array to another. So I'm just going to grab all these guys, paste it right here. So instead of map, it's going to be flitter. Okay, so let's just go ahead and wrap this up. So I can just say array.flitter like that. So flitter actually comes with a promise, which is like the same thing. I'm using function, not arrow function. Flitter also comes with a new value of how it actually go ahead and flitter the array. So we can just say console.log the new data that is here. So for a sec, let's go ahead and call that function for a second. So I'm going to copy this and paste this. Then we can just go ahead and change this value and say okay, flitter array. So we can say flitter array. All right, good. I'm just going to press F12 again. So if I click on flitter array, you can see it's able to go ahead and flitter this array to print out the values that are inside the array, so that while we are actually let me just create a variable here to see the usefulness of flitter. You can just say let's new array equal to, so an empty array. Then I'm just going to go right here and say okay, while you are doing this, just do new array. Oh my god, onto new array dot append. So or dot, sorry, we meant to just do append. Okay, let's just do append, because we want to append it, we can either do one of these guys that we do. So we want to push into the array, we want to push a new value to the array dot push data. So at the end of everything, you want to console.log new arrays like that. So what I do is that we create an empty array which is empty, then we will flitter through the old array, which is this array. We actually try to append each of them. We try to have to push it into the new array. Let's just check this up real quick. I just refresh the flitter array. You can see when we console.log the new array value. So what we console.log here is the new array. The new array is able to inherit the old array's property, and that is very, very important because it allows us to flitter through it, then push it into the new array. So that's what I want to show you real quick about pushing and filter. So we have index of. So index of actually allow us to find an index of a particular array based on the name of the array or whatever we specify. Yeah, based on the name of the array, it's return the position. So instead of we looking into the code getting the 0 1 2 3 by ourselves, we can just go ahead and specify the name, then leave the rest for JavaScript to go ahead and bring out or fetch out the array value for us. This is just all nice and all good. So let's just wrap a function. As a matter of fact, what I'm about to show you real quick now, just going to comment all these guys out. So all these guys that we have done, except the only array, all this function, I'm going to comment it out, and I'm going to push it down below the code because we need them. No, but I think we are done with them. So this is all gone now. I'm just going to create a function that say index of array. Okay, index of array. All right, real quick for a sec. Then right here too, we are done with all these guys too, so I'm just going to comment them out. So allow me to push them down too. That's not bad. Then I'll go up back again, then continue my stuff. btn, you can just try to type btn, so it's going to turn to button. So on click, we want to do index of array, if I get the name correctly. So we can say find index of array. So that's the button. Then I want to go ahead and initiate something here, which is an input tag. So the input tag I initiated, the type I want is text, and the ID of the inputs, I want it to be inputs. So that's the ID, I want it to be input. Then the name, I want it to be input, which is not important in this case, but I'm just putting it right there. So if I refresh this page, so this is all we have. So I'm just going to type the name of the array like Paul, then find the index, then it's going to return a message for us right here and say, okay, this is the index of Paul. Let's go ahead and just code that up now. So back to this place, what I can do is just the array dot index of, then we are going to put the variable that we are going to find. So we are going to just say the inputs, so like that. So before we do that, don't let me just confuse you, let me just do it step by step. You say let's inputs to be equal to document dot get elements by ID of input. So don't forget the name of the input tag that we embed in the page right here. The ID I give it is input, so I just go ahead and get the element with the input, which means this is the form input. So let me just do like form input, or let's just say only input like that. So this is the inputs. I just try to push it out by doing document or get element by ID of input. Then I can just say array dot index of, then I'm just going to find inputs dot value. So what I do is that I try to get the value of this input. So the only way to get this is just to put input dot value, and I'm going to say let's index equal to this. So this is very simple. So I keep the value, what I actually get here, what this method return, I put it in a variable called index. Then I can just go ahead and do let output equal to document or get element get element by ID of output, and I can go by output dot inner HTML equal to the index. So okay, we can just go ahead and make this please really make sense. We can just say the index of, then we concatenate the input the value the of inputs dot value, then we continue and said is, so we just concatenate the index right now. So this is really going to work good. Let's just try what we've got. So we have nothing on the array. Oh my god, that is because we don't print these out because I've decided to comment out even the show array function. So let's just uncomment this now. Let's scrap it up and paste it right above our find index of array. So let's try this again. So it's back now. This is good. So let's back to our code. Don't bother about this. I'm just trying to bring it all back. And right now we are here now. So let's just try to find the index of Paul to see what is going to return. Find index. It said the index of Paul is 0. Can you see? So we are able to find the index of Paul to be 0. Another thing I realized is that I've actually go ahead, and when I click this input box remain Paul. So I want to write a mechanism that whenever I click this, then this disappeared. So to do that is just simple. We just say input right there at the end. Just say input dot value. So the value of the input should be empty string. So this is empty. So the value of the input is now empty. Let me refresh this. Next time, if I try to find James, I say find index. Said the index of James is 1. So now the input is empty. If I try to find Gabriel from the array, is it there? So say the index of Gabriel is 3. Then that is how the find index also work. So another one I want to actually teach you that I've not had is concat. So concat actually allow you to, okay, let's talk about join too. Join. Concat allow you to add 1 or 2 array together. So let's just create another array. Let's array 2 underscore 2 equal to what kind of thing can we do now? Philip, comma, Thomas, Janet, like there. So in order to just go ahead, we want to initiate a function. So let me just do this now, because real quick I want to show you how we can add to array using an event caller and do some stuff like that. So let's just create another function right here. So I'm just going to create a function real quick. I'm going to call the function that I want to create right here is concat. I'll just say add array. So let just put like that, array. So array dot concat. So concat array underscore 2, and that's all. So permit me to just go ahead and bring out this code because of time. I don't want to be repeating myself. So I'm going to paste this here, then I'm going to uncomment them out. So let output goes to this, and right here we don't need this, we don't want to do this. So it's just equal to the new array that we have now. So that's all. So add array. Let's see if we have called this one out here. Sorry, what's this? Oh my god. Okay, we've not called it out. You can just say add array, then we just change this value, this one to add. Good. Refresh this. So if I actually print add array, let's see. No message, no warning. That's good. I want to make sure that this is right. I'm doing this correctly. So add array. Let's see. Add array. Add capital letter. Add capital letter. Okay. So let's just put like, let's array underscore 3, which is the third array, should be equals to the value of add array. Then we're going to print out array 3 instead of the former array. So this is it now. So this is the new array that we have. Let's refresh this. So when I click add array, you can see this is the new array that we have. So we have the both combination of Peter, James, John, Gabriel, Michael being added to Philip, Thomas, and Janet, and that is how add array actually works. So I can use the same method to show you join. So instead of doing this dot concat, I can just say this dot join. So instead of using comma, because if you notice the sequence of the array, comma is being used to separate them, and that is what is being used to join them. I can decide to just use an asterisk or ampersand or and or anything. So if I refresh this now, it's not going to show because I'm printing out the wrong array. So I need to print out the original array itself. So instead of I was putting array 3, so let's do this real quick, really quick. So if I click the button array dot join asterisk document, okay, then print out the value of array. Are we doing this rightly? I don't even know. Add array, then array dot join this. Oh my god, let me just do array dot join the asterisk here. Okay, let's see what we'll go. Alright, good, it works. So I've been able to join the asterisk into the array, and you can see I replaced the comma with asterisk now. So those are the stuff I want to show you real quick. In the next tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how you can add an array and delete array using an input form. So you just click a button add, then you click a button delete. Thank you.